If I'm looking to build my physique and I want to add as much muscle as possible, what is the best training split to accomplish this goal? And what program should I follow? These are the top 2 questions I get asked regularly by guys who are looking to build more muscle, who actively follow bodybuilders, influencers, and anyone trying to sell new magic formulas for building muscle. And most of them come to me after following a training program that produced mediocre results for 6 weeks. And now they're waiting for another influencer to drop another completely random training program. Essentially, they're just program hopping and they want to know what to do next. Because I get asked this question so often, I want to make a video explaining exactly what I do with my clients and guys that I work with, and how program hopping is literally killing your progress and preventing you from reaching your full potential. And if you don't know who I am, my name is Pete Kacharian. I'm a bodybuilding coach, educator, and writer, and I've worked and consulted with hundreds of amateur and pro bodybuilders as well as average gym goers. So first off, I'm a big believer in old school bodybuilding training methods. I've said it many times before. Bodybuilders in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, they all built massive physiques just using basic free weights, simple cables, and eating high protein diets. But what did they do above all else that you're not doing right now? Because of the lack of the internet, advancements in science and education, these guys were basically forced to learn how to train on their own. And the only knowledge they got on training and nutrition came from going to the gym, training, listening to their body, and adjusting based on their recovery and body's feedback. So naturally, when they found what worked for their body, they stuck to it, and that was it. If they found that for growing, training the full body 3 times per week worked best, they stuck to it throughout their entire career. If pre-contest they found that they got better results, training more frequently, hitting body parts 2 to 3 times per week, and more days in the gym, that's what they stuck to. But today, guys are so overwhelmed with information overload that the training is always completely random and literally never produces any results. Building muscle comes from progressive overload. That's no secret. But progressive overload comes in many forms, not from just simply adding more weight to the bar, which ultimately has a ceiling because nobody can do that forever. So that should never be your only method for progression. Now, in order to make real changes to your physique over months and years, the key is stacking progressive training programs on top of each other, meaning that 6-week program that you just finished, it should be followed up by another 6-week program with progression built into it. After you complete it, you should be adding weight to the bar, possibly adding in additional sets, and even incorporating some body part specialization. Meaning if you want to focus on one body part, you can do so by adding in more sets for that specific muscle group. But the basics of that plan should never change. They should just become more progressive in nature. So what I personally do with my guys, and what you can do with your training right now, is I have them give me as much information as they can in regards to what their training is looking like right now. Then I give them a base plan based on their own individual needs. Usually that's the least amount of volume and sets that I think they need to build more muscle. And then every week we assess recovery, soreness, progress, and strength. And then every week, based on this information, we can either increase, decrease, or maintain workload based on their body's feedback. Over time, we're assessing how much muscle this produces, and then we can then add more volume into muscles we're trying to bring up. And we can also take away from the ones that we're trying to just maintain. So what you should do now is start with a new program, one that you enjoy, one that you can follow, and one that you can stick to consistently. Run it as is and consistently look to your body for feedback and use that information to adjust workload up or down as needed for your body. For example, let's say that you're using an antagonistic split and you're training the chest and back on Monday and Thursday. You start with 6 sets of chest and 6 sets of back in both workouts. If you find that after 6 weeks you're recovering well, you're not getting sore at all, but you're also not increasing in strength and performance, that's a sign that you can handle more work. So the next block, you can take that same routine and try increasing the workload from 6 sets to 8 sets. You might find that you're getting a bit more sore now between workouts, but your strength on chest pressing movements is going up, a good sign that you're building muscle. But your back is still relatively unfazed by this workload. That right there, that's an indicator that you're training with the correct amount of volume for chest, and you shouldn't change anything. But back, you can go ahead and bump that to 10 sets. Doing this for 3, 6, and 12 months, that's what transforms physiques over time. And it's how guys make dramatic progress every single year, not from just jumping from one program to the next. Take all these principles and apply them to your training program. And if you need a place to start and you're looking for a program that builds muscle using proven old school bodybuilding training methods, I recommend you check out my 5-day mass gain program in the description below. And if you want me to take control of your training so that all you have to do is execute the plan, sign up down below for my online coaching. As always, if you want to see more of the best original bodybuilding content just like this, make sure to hit subscribe.